Nerdy Sports Fan here with your Week 10 pregame. Let's start it off with Carolina versus Pittsburgh. This is going to be a great game to watch. I mean, Pittsburgh's offense is all over the place. Nobody can really keep up with them offensively. And Carolina's a more well-rounded team, and it's going to be interesting. I think both teams kind of had the image of that tough defense kind of team for a very long period of time, and neither one of them's really working out that way this season. Norv Turner has changed Carolina into a much more up-tempo offense these past few weeks, and it's working for them. And I think Greg Olsen is the linchpin there. He's come back into the fold, and his ankle's holding up, and that's allowing the safety valve for Cam Newton to be there so they can take more risks offensively. So Torrey Smith, Devin Funches, they're getting the ball. Funches is absolutely the number one target for the passing game. So, not a lot going around otherwise, especially with Olsen and Christian McCaffrey also getting the ball thrown to them a lot. Other receivers like Smith are not going to get anything worth fantasy starts, but the speed that they have at the wide receiver position is showing. And Norv Turner's taking advantage of that, and I would expect that to continue, especially in this game, because Pittsburgh is lights out on offense. And if you don't keep your pedal down to the floor against them, you're not going to keep up. Now, Carolina has the advantage of actually having talent on the defensive side of the ball, and they're going to need it going up against this Pittsburgh offense. James Conner's all over the place. He's running the ball. He's catching the ball. Le'Veon Bell, who? Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster is a great 1-2 combo in the receiving game that not a lot of other teams have the luxury of. But, again, Carolina actually has some talent on the defensive side, mostly with Kuechly in the middle, directing that defense where it's supposed to be. You can see the difference in these defenses, and really you can tell how much Pittsburgh was hurt by Shazier's career-ending injury. He's the difference here. Carolina has Kuechly, an elite linebacker that can run the defense. Pittsburgh lost Shazier, an elite backer that could run the defense. And that's the difference here on the defensive side. On the offensive side, obviously, Pittsburgh is more well-rounded. They're more used to one another in that scheme. And Ben Roethlisberger, there's not many quarterbacks that can run an offense as well as he can. And they definitely have the edge on offense. Carolina's got the edge on defense. I think this is going to be a lot closer than the national media and Vegas does. Vegas has given them 3.5 points on the Pittsburgh side, and I just don't see them pulling away from Carolina in that way, especially with the speed of the offense on Carolina in the past few weeks. So I would expect it to be a lot tighter than that. I would probably lean towards Pittsburgh simply because they are the more experienced team, and they are really clicking on offense. So I would probably give them a point, if I'm honest. So if you're a betting man, I would put your money on Carolina. They're probably going to take care of you. But fantasy-wise, it's going to be a great game. Roethlisberger, Newton, Juju Smith-Schuster, Antonio Brown, James Conner, Christian McCaffrey, Greg Olsen. All the heavy hitters on both teams are likely going to do well. Funches is going to be kind of a borderline play. Vance McDonald, not so much. Tight end position's been kind of missing in Pittsburgh for a while, but with Schuster, they don't really need that. So definitely put Antonio Brown as a 1, Smith-Schuster as a 2. James Conner and Christian McCaffrey are both guaranteed lock starts, running back 1. And Roethlisberger is going to be a QB1. Cam Newton's likely going to be a QB1 as well, because, again, that offense is going to need to keep their tempo up in order to keep up with Pittsburgh. Now, it's going to be super fun to watch. There's not a lot of game planning involved in the Thursday night games. Teams tend to stay with their bread and butter, so it's mostly just going to be lining up and who's better on this play. And it's always fun to watch when it gets in that situation. Enjoy the game, guys. It's going to be a fun one. If you like the content, Please remember to like and subscribe and check out the other videos. I'll be doing a Thursday night game review at the end of this one, so keep an eye out for that. Check out my Instagram at NerdySportsFan, and you'll get my weekly fantasy football pick of the week.